Okay, we looked at how to reflect points through slanting lines. The teacher worked out one, then the second number, due to time, we could not finish. So we only worked out A and B, and we tasked you to go and finish it. So I need answers to C prime, D prime, and E prime. Okay, Nakabonge, I think, put up her hand first.
C prime is 5, 4.
Yes, D is C, sorry. C
Prime
is
is
C prime
5, 4.
5, 4, very good. 5, 4. Then D prime, someone else.
Daisy and Red Daisy.
But she unmuted me.
Yeah?
D prime is -2, 3.
-2, 3. Good.
Angel Ntongo.
And finally, E prime.
Angel Ntongo. Angel Ntongo is not with us. Hope Asimwe.
Oh no, teacher. E prime is E prime is 3, 4.
3, 4, very good. It did not shift. It remained at the same position. Any questions?
If you don't have a question,
If you don't have a question, put down your hand.
Like Angel Ntongo, you don't have a question. Daisy, do you have a question? No. Do we have people with questions? No.
No, very good. So we did a good job last week. Now today, we are going to reflect figures. Last week, we dwelt...
Dav.
Teacher, I just wanted to see the chalkboard because I couldn't see it.
Okay, I'm going to reflect it there.
The chalkboard.
We are going to turn.
Like the question part.
New work. Okay, the chalkboard, simply tap Elsa Msenjobe, and then you have a very big chalkboard. And focus on the question.
Excuse me, Mr. Senjove.
Yes, please.
Teacher, I can't hear you properly. Yet I've increased my...
Are the rest
Not hear me properly?
We
Put
can hear you.
Put it at maximum. That is a gadget issue. Your phone. Now I'm at the... That is okay. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so today we are going to reflection of figures. We've been reflecting points. Now we are going to reflect figures, and it is not very new. What we do, for example, I don't know, are you seeing this number?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay, so as I explained, I need you to jot it down actually. Okay, as you're writing, maybe I could just clarify. Last week we were reflecting points. Like I mentioned, today it's not going to be very different because now we are having a triangle with those vertices. It means it has 3 points, at least that. So we are going to take the vertices as the points, and we are going to reflect 1 point at a time. We shall begin with A, followed by B, then C, and then we join those points to form our image of that triangle. So it is as easy as that. Reflect a point at a time and join them later. Okay, if you have at least written part A, I think we can start.
Not yet.
Okay. They can reach that number. Girls, I think you're through at least with part 1. I'm going to shift the laptop. That is why I need to know that you finished. Can we continue?
No, we're not yet done.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, 1 more minute for those who.
No, we are done.
Now we are done.
No.
Okay. Let me just maintain my 1 minute.
I am done.
Okay, my 1 minute has passed, so I'm going to.
But now, how are we supposed?
You have the question.
Okay, so the first part, we're given triangle ABC with vertices A, -1, 1. Then B, -5, 0, and C, -4, 4. And it is going to be reflected with a line x is equal to 1. So like we did last time, when they said the line is x is equal to 1, yes. When we say x is equal to 1, it means that the point. Can you mute, please? I have the floor. Josephine, Ari. We shall give you your chance to ask questions. So we mentioned that if we say x is equal to 1, then it means that all points along that line have the x coordinate as 1, but the y coordinate can keep changing. So if I just draw my box here, when x is 1, y can be 0, but x is maintained at 1. So still when x is still 1, y can be 2. Let me get 3. When x is still maintained at 1, y can change and be -1. So I'm going to plot these 3 points, 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, -1. You can have other points, but remember x must be maintained at 1. Secondly, don't choose points that are very far from the
Teacher, like, and I in all them. Even Rona is there.
Who is this disrupting my lesson? Mr. Bato, please mute everyone. If you mute me, I'll unmute myself. Okay, so I'm going to.
Okay, I have muted everyone. So you first unmute yourself, Mrs. Nampa.
Yes, I have muted myself. Thank you. So 1, 0. 1, 0 is at this point. 1, 2. 1, 2 is at this point. And then I have 1, -1.
Okay.
1, -1. From here, 1, then -1 is at this point. So it gives me that line. So I have to redraw through it, make it a little bolder. So this is my line x is equal to 1. So the next step is for me to locate the points one by one. I told us to locate one by one. So we begin with A. Point A was, or is, -1, 1. So I'll come here, -1, 1. My point A is here. Can someone give me the reflection of this point through this mirror line? We already know what to do. There is Lugolobi, Shona, Mr. Sir. You're not there. Okay.
Teacher Martha can help unmute them. Teacher Martha is also here. She's a co-host.
Okay, Teacher Martha, help me unmute.
Excuse me, teacher, yes? Yes, I'm here.
Can you please reflect point A through the line of reflection? X is equal to 1.
Line A prime is 3, 1.
The point, not line.
The point, sorry.
Thank you. So A complement is here at 3, 1. Thank you very much.
There's definitely.
No, that is the
First point.
the first point. So we are going to reflect the next point. It is -5, 0. So I have from here -5, then 0. So I have my point to be here.
Namugao, Daphne, your hand is up.
Teacher, it is negative. It is 6, 0.
Okay, for those who may have forgotten, we count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to the mirror line. And then, so that means we have to count 6 going the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So where do we end? Where do we end?
Daphne.
Daphne has gone off. Daisy.
7, 0.
7, 0. So Daphne, our line of reflection was not the x-axis, it was x equal to 1. So we had to count 6 spaces to here and then 6 spaces. So B prime is at 7, 0. Let me note them down here. A prime, 3, 1. B prime, 7, 0. By now, people should be reflecting the last one, which is -4, 4. So C is 1, 2, 3, 4. -4, then upwards 1, 2, 3, 4. So my C is here. Can someone reflect C through that mirror line?
Joanna Chisache. Joanna Chisache.
Yes, she's okay, she's coming.
The answer is 6, 4.
6, 4, let's confirm from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to the mirror line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Away from the mirror line. My C complement is here. And indeed, its coordinate is 6, 4. Thank you very much, Sache. So C complement is 6, 4. Like I mentioned, we're going to connect these points to form our triangles. Our object triangle is here. And likewise, I'm going to join the points on this other side to form, for us to see our first image triangle. I hope you're doing the same in your graph paper. your graph book. So there we have our first image through the line x is equal to 1. Any questions?
Angel Tongo, your hand is up.
I was asking the points that you made to get the mirror line for the y coordinates. Were you just getting any I don't know, point or something?
Yes, you get any point. When they say the line of reflection is x equal to 1, it means that the x coordinate is the one that is fixed to 1. But the y coordinate can be any number, though we also guided that please don't get values of y that are very far from the origin, because our graph papers are limited. So I picked any point, any y value, but maintain the x value as 1.
Dove Tangaza, your hand is up.
Teacher, I had a bad network, and I sort of missed this part of okay, on this side of the graph, where you marked a at 3 and at 3 1 at 3 1. Okay, I didn't get why you marked it at 3 1 yet. On the box where we're writing x and y values, you wrote 1 2.
No, Dad, these points were helping us to locate our mirror line or the line of reflection, which I've just explained. Our line of reflection was x is equal to 1. It means, like we explained last week, that the x coordinate is fixed to 1. That is why you're seeing here I have 1 1 1. Then the y coordinates can change depending on your choice, but don't deviate too much from the origin. So I chose 0, 2, and -1, and I plotted those points here. If you notice, they are here. I have this point here, 1 0, then I have 1 2, and then I have 1 -1. These are the 3 points that helped us locate our mirror line, which happened to be x is equal to 1. Then thereafter, I started reflecting point by point. Our point A is -1 1. So from here, -1, then 1. So we have to reflect this point through our mirror line. Like we did last time, we count 1 to the mirror line. Therefore, it should also be 1 2 away from the mirror line on the other side. And that's how we get to this. And we've done the same for B and C.
Oh, thank you, teacher.
Okay. Barunji.
Teacher, I came a little bit late, so I was requesting if you could kindly repeat the whole.
Haven't you just heard what I've explained to Dab? Have you heard what I've explained to Dab? Anita?
No, my network was not good. Yes, please.
Okay. Haven't you? I've just finished explaining to Dab. Haven't you heard what I've said?
My network was not bad.
Okay, please keep there. We are going to do part 2. It is the same procedure. Just, I hope the network doesn't disturb you. Daniela Akelo. Daniela has gone off. Gloria.
Teacher, does that mean that if I can identify the line, I don't need to draw the table for the points?
Yes.
Like to allocate the mirror line?
Yes, if you can locate it, go ahead and locate it. We're doing this table for those who may find it a problem. Shonila, I think, Akampulira.
Teacher,
Yes.
I get lost when you're finding the primes. Usually when you're counting, I get lost. I've understood everything apart from when we are getting the prime. I usually get lost when you're counting to get the prime. I'm a bit confused there.
Okay.
But let me ask you a question. There is a certain property that you must always understand, that if you have located your object in front of a mirror, the distance of the object in front of the mirror must be equal to the distance of the image behind the mirror. The object and the mirror must be on, the object and the image must be on opposite sides. Do you remember that fact?
Jonila.
Yes, teacher, I remember.
So then the line joining the image to the object must be perpendicular to the mirror lines. Do you remember that also?
I can't pull it away. Are you? Disappeared from here. I can't.
Do you remember those people? Do you remember those facts, by the way? Because those facts are very, very important. That's why the campus sometimes comes in and you are drawing those lines, because the line joining the image and the object must be perpendicular to the mirror line. I hope you remember those facts. So with vertical lines and horizontal lines, it becomes very easy because you just count spaces.
So I'm just going to go through A. So I hope people in Burundi you're listening. A is at this point, and this is our mirror line. So we count spaces 1, 2 to the mirror line. It means that the object is on the opposite side, also 2 spaces away. So I begin from here, 1, 2. Therefore, my A prime will be there. And we do the same for the rest. Okay, the next part, this question was somewhat connected. It was 2 in 1. The first part was to reflect our object through this mirror line to get our image. And then thereafter, we're supposed to reflect this image that we've got through another line, which is this time horizontal. For those who did not capture all, okay, Mr. Sali has put it in the chat. So we are now going to go through part B. We said this object was reflected through the line x is equal to 1 to form the first image, A prime, B prime, C prime. Now we have the second part, followed by a reflection in the line y is equal to 0 to form the second image. So I'm going to ask Mrs. Chisambu to go through.
Good morning, girls. We are through with the first part. So we have formed, they are telling us that triangle ABC with vertices A, B, and C was reflected through the line A. The line is x is equal to 1. Now to form the image A prime, B prime, C prime. So the image formed is this one. It has these coordinates, and the image formed is here on the board. A prime, B prime, C prime. So we want to, part B, we are going to, they are saying that followed by a reflection in the line y equals to 0, which means that our image here is going to be reflected in the line y is equal to 0. So in this case, we must identify our mirror line. So which one is the line y is equal to 0? Can someone identify the line y equals to 0?
Someone put up your hand, okay. Kamaholo Carissa, unmute and submit.
The line y is equal to 0 is just the x-axis.
Thank you. So another name for the x-axis, in this case is the line y is equal to 0. So in order for you to score this mark, you must always write on this line. So y is equal to 0. Now remember, our object now is this A prime, B prime, C prime. So we are going to reflect this object through the line y equals to 0 to form another image which has these coordinates A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. So we want to begin, since we have identified our mirror line as y equals to 0. So we begin with the point A prime. We are going to reflect A prime through this mirror line. Our new mirror line is this y equals to 0. So don't go back to x equals to 1 because x equals to 1 was used in the first part. So let us look at one by one. So we look at A prime, bearing in mind that the mirror line is y equals to 0. So I can see some hands.
Okay, Pellan unmute and submit.
A double prime is 3 negative 1.
3 negative 1. Let us see that. So since this is our mirror line, you can see that we have one square in between. So if the image is, if the object is here and this is the mirror line, then the image must be formed on the opposite side. So we have to move one square down. So from here, we are moving up to this point. So our B, rather A prime, A double prime is this point, which is giving us the coordinates 3.
There's a question, are they supposed to draw another graph paper? You need to clarify that.
We are using the same graph paper since it is one question. So this question is 1, therefore we draw all these on the same graph. So use the graph paper to work out and state the coordinates. So you can even see from the question that we are using the same graph paper to work out and state the coordinates of these triangles. That so you have to draw all those 3 triangles on the same graph. So A prime has coordinates, they are here, 3 negative 1. We move on to point B prime.
There's another question. Why is it that y is equal to 0 is the x line from the chart?
Yes, maybe we first get the coordinates, then we shall answer that. Okay. So just keep your question, we are going to answer. Let us first find the coordinates of B prime. So B prime is here, is the object, and it is on this mirror line. So what are the image points?
Are you okay? Unmute and submit.
The coordinates for B prime prime are 7, 0.
7, 0. Yes, since this point B prime is on the line, on the mirror line, so the object will take on the image, will have the same point. So we have 7, 0 as B double prime. Then we look at C prime. C prime, there is a hand.
Okay, let's give a chance to. Let's give a chance to. Okay, Kukunda Aaron 2H, unmute and submit. Kukunda.
C prime prime is equal to 6 negative 4.
Okay, thank you, Kukunda. Let us prove that. Just a minute. So we have to move. This is our mirror line, y equals to 0. So we want to find the image of this coordinate. So we must move. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have moved 4 steps to the mirror line. Therefore, following the same horizontal direction, we have to move 4 steps down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So our C double prime will be at this point, which is 6, -4. Then we go back to, someone had a question. Why is it that?
Y is equal to 0 is the same as the x-axis line.
Now, this line y equals to 0, why do we say the x-axis is the same as the line y is equal to 0? Murunji?
Actually, she's confusing. Teacher, why is y equal to 0 line same as x is equal to 0? So she's confusing even x-axis.
Oh, now the line.
Renita, if she's on, you can work with her. Renita, you asked a question in that chat. If you are on, may you put up your answer to that we explain to you, or we answer your question. Renita, put up your hand such that you can get to you. Yes, Renita, I've seen you. Renita, let's work with you. Leave your microphone, unmute. What is your question? Make it clear. I saw it in the chat.
Teacher, just wondering, how come y is equal to 0 is on the x-axis?
Y is equal to 0 is on the x-axis.
Okay. Y is equal to 0. Let me first draw this image because they want you to draw this triangle, so you must join in order for you to have a complete image. So the images of this triangle, object triangle, they are these ones, but remember, you have to join. There is always a mark for joining these triangles. So do not leave hanging points. You must always draw that triangle to join the plotted points. Now, after that, we said you must write all these images. So rather the coordinates of these points. So we needed to see A prime, B prime, C prime, followed by A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. Now, for someone who asked, why is it that this line y is equal to 0, the same as the x-axis? Now, you find that along this x-axis, because we have the vertical axis and we have the horizontal axis. Now, along this x-axis, all the values of y are 0. Because this is our starting point. The origin has 0, 0. So when you move up, you get another point. But this one, this line, this horizontal line, it is not changing, it remains. So everywhere along this line, all the values of y will be 0. So let me give you an example. If I stand at this point, if I plot this point, this is 1, 0. You find that the value for y at this point is 0. And if I move on to the next point, this is 2, 0. So you find that the value of y is 0. Even here, when I move here, you find that I have 3, 0. So the coordinates here are 3, 0, and y is 0. So everywhere, even if I move to the other side of the negatives, I will find that if I plot this point, negative 1, 0, still the value for y everywhere is 0. So y is equal to 0 everywhere on this line, which is the x-axis. That's why you'll find that the x-axis we have on this x-axis, we can also call it the line y is equal to 0. Now, you don't have to confuse the two, because we also say that this vertical axis, which is the y-axis, is also the same as x is equal to 0. Because everywhere along this y-axis, everywhere the x value, the x coordinate is 0. So if I try to plot here, you'll find that the coordinates at this point, we have 0, 1. At this point, we have 0, 2. We have 0, 3, and so on. Even down, we shall have 0, negative 1, 0, negative 2, 0, negative 3. So I think someone who asked that be able to see that everywhere along this line, all the values of x, they are equal to 0. So we call this line, the y-axis, the same as the line x equals to 0. Leila, oh, you had forgotten to put down your hand. Daisy, is your hand up? Daisy? Okay. So I think there is no, oh, there are some two hands. Winza?
Teacher, I was asking why we are reflecting the triangle through the one that was reflected first, because I thought that we had to reflect it from the original one, which was not prime, but the original triangle, not the one which we by.
Winza, if you look at that question, it mentioned followed by. So if it is followed by, it means the first image is what you reflect in the next line of reflection.
Winza, have you heard that? We are first reflecting through the line x equals to 1, followed by a reflection in the line y equals to 0, which means that after reflecting through the mirror line, which is x equals to 1, then it has to be followed by another reflection through the line y equals to 0. That's why we don't have to go back again through x equals to 1.
In other words, it depends on the instruction of the question. So this particular question wanted you to first get the first image, then you follow it, followed by another reflection. Any other questions?
Is that okay? Okay, there is Joanna Chisache, your hand is up.
I wanted to ask that why are we calling these other points A, B? Why call them A prime and B prime and not A double complement?
It is still
It is the same thing.
Okay.
Prime complement is okay.
It's okay. Mwebaze? Karen.
Teacher, you were breaking. I didn't understand why they call y is equal to 0, the x-axis.
We are going to continue. Please remember the line y is equal to 0. I hope you are listening. Is the straight line which passes through the point 0 and the y coordinate is maintained at 0. They have shown you different coordinates on that line. 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0. So if you can locate those points, that will be the line y is equal to 0 because the y value is not changing.
It's maintained at 0.
It's maintained at 0. That is why it is called y is equal to 0. We are going to proceed from that question. Please, people, revisit those lessons that we have been talking about because those lines have been stated several times. I think people are breaking on and off.
Mr. Bato, we shall request you to keep sharing the recordings so that those who keep going on and off can always get back and understand. Any other questions? Okay, we are going to move on to the next question. Mr. Matthew. Mr. Leave. No, leave there. Okay, then bring it back. It cuts out that because Mr. Kenneth. Are you viewing me? Kenneth.
Yeah.
So that is
wait
our,
a little. Yeah.
that is our example too. As Mr. Matumbo is cleaning our graph paper this side, please quickly jot it down.
And people don't clean yours also.
Get for if after copying down this question, you get a fresh pair of axes. Another graph paper.
Can you share that thing?
The person, or can we share it with you?
The screen also. The screen. Share the screen.
Person, now you got to learn.
Yeah.
No, you got to learn chat.
Mr. Kali is also writing it down in the chat.
So they're in the chat.
So if you're through with writing the question, you can go ahead and prepare your graph paper. So that when we begin, you're also doing it on that side.
Why don't we reflect from the real triangle?
Is your screen being seen?
I'm going to share that. Why don't we reflect from the real triangle? Y is equal to 0? Y is equal to 0. Real triangle, is there something there, right?
Now, we mentioned, what was that we in the question?
This one is a star.
A few Estarita, you've asked the same question we in the charity asked, that why don't we reflect the original object? And we mentioned we are following the instruction in the question. The question said reflect object ABC with these vertices through the line x is equal to 1. Followed by, once they say followed by, it means now the new image is the one you're reflecting through the next line of reflection. So we did that because that was the instruction in the question. So we need to pay keen interest on the instructions given. Actually, y is equal to 0, not x is equal to 0.
Lesson 8.
Are you sharing again the same question? Are you sharing the same question?
Go down.
No,
Yeah, no, up. That one.
they got here, what here? I want to run how to get that's how it
Of course, but Mr. Saleh, everything is okay, I think.
Okay, girls, we are set to move on to example 2. I hope you finish writing down the question and you finish preparing your graph paper.
That's what I observed. No, but we are points on the hand.
That's what we are now.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope you have copied the question. Okay. You have copied the question, so I want us to start from there. It's example 2. The question, we put it on the board, we have put it in the chat. It is on the screen here shared. So everyone has got it. No excuses. Mr. Sally, we can now start. Stop sharing here. Okay. Okay, so everyone has the question. I want to use this part of the board. So I cover the question. Everyone has it. Now, we first of all get the mirror line, and we are told to reflect in the line y is equal to x. This is our mirror line. Okay, we said that in every situation, it is better to first get the points on the line, plot them to get the mirror line on the graph paper. So our line is y is equal to x. I want someone to give, I want people to give me points on the mirror line. Points on the line. Points on the line. Okay. Points on the line. My table can be here. This is the x. Okay. This is the y. I need at least 3 points. Okay.
Tatiana, unmute and submit.
Okay.
So when x is 0.
When x is 0, when x is 0, you come to the equation of the line. The equation of the line is y is equal to x. So when x is equal to 0, and you put 0 where there is x, what would y be?
0.
Yes, y would be 0. So we are getting a point here, which is 0.
0, 0.
Okay, that's very good. Another person, when it's
Walea Mercy, unmute and submit.
Okay.
Walea Mercy.
When x is equals to 2.
When x is equal to 2, what will be y according to this?
2.
Y will be 2. So I have 2, then 2.
Thank you so much, Walea. Leila Nasuna, unmute and submit. Leila, unmute and submit.
When y is 4.
When y is 4, very good. You put 4 where there is y here, so x will be. So x will be.
Leila, unmute and finish up your submission.
4.
X will also be 4. So this is 4, then 4. The first point here is 0, 0. The second point is 2, 2. The third point is 4, 4. Okay? So people, me, I don't see any reason why people are confused with the x-axis being y is equal to 0 and then the y-axis being the x is equal to 0. It is the same thing we are doing here. I told you that you get any 3 points on the line, plot those points, you will get the mirror line. So my 3 points, our 3 points, because we have got them together. So our 3 points are here, 0, 0, 2, 2, 4, 4. I come and plot, okay? I come to my graph.
Stop sharing this. Okay.
So I come to my graph here. The first point is 0, 0. So I put it here. The second point is 2, 2. 2 on the x-axis, then 2 on the y-axis. The third point is 4, 4. So 4 on the x-axis, 4 on the y-axis. I come and draw that line.
As you're also drawing in your graph.
Yeah. So that's the line, y is equal to x. Yeah. Y is equal to x. So that is the mirror line. Okay, y is equal to x. Is there any question before I proceed? Before we proceed, is there any question? That is the mirror line.
Okay.
Is there any question?
Petra Ijuka, unmute and submit. Petra, are you there? You have disappeared. Karen Nimanya, unmute and submit.
Yeah, this is the same number as last time.
This is the what?
The same number.
Last time
we are looking at points separately. Here we are looking at a triangle. Did you see the question? They say a triangle PQR. So we are reflecting a triangle.
Okay.
Okay. The difference is that the other time we are looking at points, here we are looking at a figure. We are reflecting a figure. Okay. Is there another question?
Okay, some hands are still up. Tangaza, Dav, unmute and submit. Okay, Dav, you open the microphone and okay, you've gone. Daniela Akelo, unmute and submit.
Teacher, is there a point in time where we'd be given a question that has triple prime?
Triple?
Yes.
Not at the level, but still you can handle. It's the normal reflection. You reflect the first object to get the single complement. You reflect the single complement to get the double. You reflect the double to get the triple. Even the quadruple can happen. It is the normal reflection.
The procedure doesn't change. Meanwhile, remember this being a slanting one, you need your compass.
You need your compass, ladies, since we have a slanting reflection line.
Though for those who can see it directly, well and good.
So everyone is comfortable, I can proceed. That's very good. Okay, our mirror line is here. Now, the object triangle. P is 1, 2, 1 on the x-axis, then 2 on the y. The point will be here. This is the P. I go to Q. Q is 1, 4.
1 liter MGHS.
1, 4. 1 on the x-axis, then 4 on the y-axis. This is the Q, and then the last one is R is 2, 4. 2, then 4 is here. This is This is our point R. After getting it, okay, I join the plotted point to get my object triangle. It is this one. My object triangle is here. Okay, yeah, that's my object triangle. After getting my object triangle, I reflect one point at a time. After getting, yes? Okay, now from here I want someone to give us the P complement. P complement.
Nakabonge Evelyn, S2H, unmute and give us P complement.
P complement is 2, 1.
2, 1. Okay, but we said that you get your compass, stand at point P. You remember those steps? You stand at point P, get any radius of the compass, stand here, cut, and then another arc here. After that, you stand at this arc, get this, and then stand at this, and get the second arc. Where the two meet is where the P complement is. So P complement is here, which is going to be 2, 1. That's very good. We go to Q. We do the same. Who can give us the coordinates of Q complement?
Okay, we can see someone who hasn't given an answer since the lesson began. Talita, sir, unmute and submit.
Teacher, Q complement is 4, 1.
4, 1. Let's see. I have written 4, 1. I stand at Q here, adjust my compass. This is the radius I want. I cut there. I cut here. Then stand here. I don't change the length of the compass. I cut here, then I stand here. Okay, it was this one. Eh? I stand here, I cut, then stand here and cut. The point is this one. Eh? So this is the Q complement, and it is 4, 1. That's very good. Then R complement.
R complement, Adelaide, Daisy, unmute and submit.
The coordinates for our complement are 4, 2.
4, 2. Let's get here. I stand at this point. Okay, this is the radius of my choice. I cut there and then cut here. Yes, I stand here, go to the opposite side of the line, cut. Okay. Cut, then come here. It was this one. And then cut. The two are meeting here. This is the R complement, and it is 4, 4, 2. That's very good. I complete my image triangle is that one. Okay, so that's my image triangle. Now, points to note, people. When you are told to reflect, the final product must be this. You don't do the reflection and you forget to write these answers. And by the way, each point here is taking a mark. Yes? So if you leave out this, if you don't write the coordinates of the answer, the coordinates of these image points, you'll miss all these marks. So this is our final product. And then two, the size of the object is the same as the size of the image. When you look at this, the size of this is the same as the size of this, and each point is at each point, the object point from the line is the same as the image point from the mirror line for all the points. So if we have 1, 2, 3 questions, we can ask. Is there any question?
Okay, there was a question. Where do you put this from the chat? Where do you draw the arcs?
Where do we draw?
From the chat.
Where do we draw?
How do you?
I said that you go to the objective point. I want to reflect P. You stand at this objective point, adjust the compass to any radius of your choice, as long as you can meet the mirror line at 2 points. So you stand here, I can cut anywhere on this line. This radius of the compass is my choice, and I use it throughout. If this is the radius I have chosen, I use it throughout until when I get the image what? The image point. So where do I put the arcs? It is your choice. This radius is your choice.
Okay, at such, Joanna, has your question been answered? It was in the chat. I believe it's okay. If you're on, you can tell us. Joanna Sache. Then someone is saying we reflect only triangles. Angel Namara 2K, we can reflect other shapes like rectangles and squares. So any object.
Yeah, any figure. Any figure, but not a circle. Not a circle.
Okay, then Ayoki, you're saying, and Elizabeth, is it possible to locate the images without a compass? We said it is very possible if you can see it, because you use the properties of refraction and you can do that. So it's okay not to use a compass. So that was Elizabeth.
Yeah,
and Joanna.
You can look at this point, and this is the mirror. Of course, we expect the image to be here. Yes, we expect the image to be here. This line is perpendicular to the mirror line, and this is half the diagonal of this box. This is half. I take half this side. So without using a compass, I can tell. Okay. So sometimes it is if you can see the images, it is very fine. Okay.
When determining the radius, Rachel, when determining the radius for the arcs, do you use the same radius for drawing all the arcs?
I said it is your choice. As long as your radius can meet, as long as your compass, your pencil can touch the mirror line at 2 points, making those 2 arcs, it will be very okay.
Okay, let's go back to those who have put up there, and those were some of the questions from the chat. Dav, you have a question. Okay, unmute and submit.
Mr. Sally, please note that it's already 8 minutes past 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mr. Bado, you're summarizing.
Yeah, my question. Teacher, my question is, okay, I didn't have a stable network, and there's something, okay, I didn't get of the method of which you use in drawing the arcs. Okay, I'm just lost in that whole area of how you draw the arcs and why. Okay, I just didn't understand it. Could you please repeat it for me?
That we shall have more examples in the next lesson. So please make sure your network is.
Or even the recording.
Or you can also refer to the recording. We've already requested Mr. But we shall have more examples. So let me pray that your internet.
Yeah, we are left with only 1 minute, so we can't go through all those steps now.
Oh, okay. All right, our time is up. The remaining answers, Natkunda, Joan, maybe one more, and then we'll close. Natkunda.
Teacher, yes, teacher, I like the object, the real object. Like, okay, yes, I plotted it well, but then when I was going to like after reflection, my object, my image is not accurate. Like none of the points are accurate.
Okay, then you try to be more accurate because. Okay.
I'm also hoping your graph paper is good, very clear. Because at times, like I mentioned, at times it's the graph paper.
Yes, Joan, practice makes perfect. I believe by the time you finish this topic, you'll be having accurate points.
Okay, people, I think we can't go beyond this. I want to thank you so much for attending this lesson. I want to thank my the team, the teachers who have been with us here, and Mr. Bato, our host. Have a lovely day.
Bye.